On the eve of the federal court's first hearing of the damages claim against Peter Slipper, government lawyers have attacked the way in which James Ashby has gone about making the sexual harassment case. They say Ashby, the Speaker's former staffer, is wasting the court's time because he hadn't complained earlier against Mr Slipper to appropriate authorities. Meanwhile, James Ashby has launched more legal action, claiming he's been victimised by the Foreign Minister, Bob Carr, and the high-profile opposition Senator Barnaby Joyce. Political correspondent Tom Eagleton's been following the action in Canberra.
James Ashby is taking those who've suggested his legal action against Peter Slipper isn't fair dinkum to the Human Rights Commission. Opposition Senator Barnaby Joyce told a newspaper he thought Mr Ashby was only slightly less dodgy than Slipper, while Bob Carr tweeted, "This Ashby seems more rehearsed than a kabuki actor." Mr Ashby says when Mr Carr later appeared on Lateline, he had the opportunity to withdraw his victimising remarks but declined to do so, which meant Mr Carr's victimising was further broadcast to a large number of people.
Would you have considered saying what you said on Twitter if it had been Jane Ashby rather than James?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mr Ashby's lawyer told the Human Rights Commission Mr Carr and Senator Joyce should not use their high office to demean our client for their political ends or otherwise. But the Foreign Minister says it's Mr Ashby who's politicised the legal process with his complaint of sexual harassment against Peter Slipper in the federal court.
If there is a complaint, take it to the authorities. Don't have a meeting with your employer's political opponent on 3 occasions. Don't talk on 3 occasions and through emails with the opposition's chief attack dog, or have a telephone call with the deputy leader of the Liberal Party.
But the opposition leader's denying the coalition had specific knowledge of Mr Ashby's damages claim before he launched it.
All that matters is A, did the Speaker sexually harass his staffer, and B, has he misused entitlements? That's all that matters. The rest is just desperate smear, desperate distraction from a desperate government.
But government lawyers are moving to have the damages claim for Mr Ashby against the Department of Finance dismissed tomorrow in the federal court. Mr Ashby took no steps to resolve the issues in dispute before suing the government, a statement lodged today says. It goes on to say the Finance Department was never given any opportunity to address the conduct, change Mr Ashby's work arrangements, to take ameliorating steps or to offer compensation in relation to the alleged conduct. It says Mr Ashby ignored 6 formal avenues of complaint, including, as he did today, making a complaint about the conduct to the Human Rights Commission. It also notes Mr Ashby withdrew several of the allegations he made against Mr Slipper after they'd been aired in the media, including past alleged sexual conduct with a male staffer and that he allegedly misused his cab charge entitlements. The commencement of proceedings has generated significant media coverage, arguably as a result of Mr Ashby's decision to commence proceedings without having taken any steps to resolve the dispute or indeed notify the Commonwealth at all of the dispute. But in a statement released tonight, Mr Ashby's lawyer says he feared reprisal, evidenced by the recent attack on our client by the Foreign Minister Bob Carr, and that going public gave him the best form of protection against reprisal. But the government lawyer says Mr Ashby has legal protection from reprisal and the legal obligation to pursue conciliation before suing his employer. The federal court now sits at the centre of this bare-knuckle political stoush, with potential ramifications for the government's numbers on the floor of Parliament. Tom Eagleton, Lateline.